Welcome back. We've done a lot of reporting on this. We've heard it time and time again from police. More Canadians, more Maritimers falling victim to scams of all sorts. Narrative Research conducted a survey on this. Margaret Chapman is partner at the research firm, and she joins us. Nice to see you. Is it too late to say Happy New Year?
I don't think so. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I want to read the opening line of your report. It says, only 3 in 10 Canadians say they have personally fallen victim to any type of scam. And I thought, 30% is only? That's significant. People have actually been hit by scammers.
Yeah, I think you're right. In hindsight, I think I probably would have written that a little differently. It's a lot of people that have actually fallen victim to some kind of scam, whether it's a phishing attempt or online scam or phone scam.
And your respondents, 1,200 respondents, and some of them, or many of them, many more than that even, know somebody either within their family or, close connections who have fallen victim?
Yeah, about half of people know someone else who's fallen victim. And that's not talking about how many people are actually targeted. That number is much, much higher, which gives rise to a lot of concern.
We're pretty trusting sorts, we Canadians. Does that hurt?
Probably, although our results really show that people are A, concerned, and B, pretty vigilant about taking action, doing a lot of things to try and protect themselves from just being skeptical about things that come in, that phone number that you don't recognize, or that email that sounds too good to be true. People are becoming wary of those sorts of things.
Is there one group, age group, gender, demographic that seems to be more susceptible to falling prey to these?
Yeah, that's what was really interesting in these results. It's really across the board. Okay. So age-wise, across the country, gender, income, education level, it's really across the board. Is
there a risk of, you're saying people were getting better at recognizing these, or at least being skeptical. Did you get any sense from the respondents that we risk moving into paranoia? If suddenly now, if you'll only answer the phone if it's a number that you recognize, for example.
Yeah, I think it's a fine line. So a lot of people, almost everyone, told us they're doing something to try and protect themselves. And the main things that people are doing are just being really wary and kind of looking closely, being a little conservative about whether they believe something that's come in. And that's where it kind of starts to tread the line of where legitimate businesses that are doing outreach to the public have trouble convincing people that things are real.
Well, you've got a good example of that.
Yeah, so in our business, we reach out to people for their opinions, and we often offer contests to try and incent people to take part. And it's actually really hard to convince people that they're legitimately the winners of those contests. People are so skeptical that because it sounds too good to be true. So I applaud people for being wary and cautious, but at the same time, I think we need to make room for businesses to actually do their
Geez, Margaret, we're in trouble if you can't give away money.
Right. Yeah.
Is there, again, looking at demographics, is one cohort perhaps better at being proactive? Or, again, is it across the board?
It's the only area, actually, in all of these results that we saw any demographic differences, actually. Women and people over the age of 55 tend to be more proactive in taking action, changing their passwords more often, making sure that their operating system is up to date. And then, again, those kind of reading things very carefully when they come in, or being really cautious when they get a phone call from a number that they don't recognize.
Yeah, that's interesting. Any insight as to why that might be?
Probably because of just how things have advanced. So technology is making scams much more difficult to track, and I think people are probably on the defensive a little bit and taking action. Yeah.
You've talked about the telephone, email, of course, texts, AI increasingly being used for scamming. Is there a favorite method that you find people are trying to be duped with? That the scammers employ?
Yeah, you look at the statistics that we have nationally on the number of people that are falling victim to these kinds of crimes, and it's really a whole variety, from phone scams, romantic scams, online emails that are unsolicited, and then those kind of phishing attempts.
It's all about money. Right?
For sure, yeah. So someone trying to get something from someone, preying on someone who's not being as careful, absolutely.
Would you have any, I know this is sort of stepping outside your wheelhouse maybe, but based on what your respondents told you and the data you collected, Advice?
Well, I know at our company we employ a professional IT company that offers training and puts us through scenarios all the time. And I think for business people, that's a really good practice to make sure that we're constantly evolving and practicing being skeptical and catching phishing attempts. And for individuals, I think there's lots of resources that you can reach out to, businesses that offer those kinds of services, just to keep you on your toes and make sure you're aware of the kinds of scams that are evolving.
Evolving. That's the perfect word, because we know they are, and we're hearing about them all the time from police, and it's hard to stay on top of everything that's happening. So thank you very much. Interesting numbers. We'd love to see those come down, and maybe your next polling will take a look at that as well. Margaret Chapman, Narrative Research, thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
We'll take a break. We'll be back with more of your newscast after this.